Jack, welcome to Let's Blame the Glazers channel. I don't know if that's the greatest pun, but yeah, let's listen. I want to hear Manchester United fans now blame the Glazer for another defeat in the Premier League, for him not backing Erik Ten Hag, for him letting Erik Ten Hag down. It's not like Erik Ten Hag has spent close to 400 million on football players, Jack, but they haven't backed him. Yeah, and it's the Glazers' fault, Jack. It's the Glazers' fault.
Yeah.
Listen. When Man United crumble, when Man United having a bad time, I feel like the whole world, is something wrong with the whole world, the whole football world. But we do love it. But with all this money being spent, Jack, on Rasmus Højlund, he hasn't played just yet. Mason Mount coming in, and you know how desperate Erik Ten Hag wanted him. It hasn't seemed to click in these first two games for Manchester United, Jack. Let's be
Nope.
honest, overall, for 90 minutes, poor performances overall. And here was the team right now that at the start of the season, Jack, people were saying could challenge for the title, could be City's closest rivals. Rashford's gonna come out, Bruno's gonna come out, all that sort of stuff there. Casemiro, Mason Mount, and it's like,
Where are we at?
let's blame the Glazers now. Just blame the Glazers. I want them yellow and green backs.
Well,
Oh, Jack.
look. I think it's important to say a couple of things. It's not going to be the finished article until Rasmus Højlund starts playing football matches. And Rasmus Højlund is not going to come in and be Erling Haaland, right? This is going to be a kid who's going to need to kind of get his feet under him here a little bit and start building some relationships, and then we'll go from there. So, in terms of what Manchester United are, yeah, okay, some players need to leave. Maybe another midfielder needs to come in if they can, get their act together and sell Van der Beek and McTominay and whoever the hell else they're trying to sell.
Well, Fred just left.
Fred has gone, yeah, that's right. But James, let's get to kind of the crux of the issue here, because I'll be honest with you, this man marking thing in midfield is weird and not working. I mentioned this in our predictions video. There's lots of good high turnovers, lots of good chances created, and all this kind of stuff. Lots of very, very positive metrics. But James, it doesn't look good. And defensively, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Mateus Cunha is a nice player, right? Mateus Nunez is a nice player. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't see the full Spurs game, only caught the highlights. Players, and actually Sky Sports on Monday Night Football just did a thing about players just being dribbled past in midfield. James, there's no control of space. There's no structure in midfield. And Erik Ten Hag has this obsession with mano-a-mano, pressing, and then quick turnovers, and then exploiting on the quick turnovers. James, it doesn't seem to be working. Now, if the argument from Erik Ten Hag is, well, all we need is to convert these chances and we're absolutely killing it, that's fine. But you and I both know the most important test in football is the eye test. And James, it doesn't look good. Now, is he going to switch things up in the Nottingham Forest game? I'm not sure. One thing I do know, though, and this is kind of my final point here, Marcus Rashford needs to never play the number 9 role again. I don't know if it needs to be a false 9 Jadon Sancho or Anthony Martial for as long as he can keep himself fit. But James, Marcus Rashford is wasted through the middle, and we need to see him off the left.
I think Jack, he's played there. He's mentioned that he doesn't want to play there, Jack. But Jose Mourinho said that he shouldn't play there because he doesn't understand certain things about him. People were going back against Jose Mourinho. I think how can he say that he's played there as well an academy and all that sort of stuff there? You can clearly see why, Jack. He's not a striker. It's so hard for him to play with his think about it with his back towards goal. He likes he likes seeing the touchline. He likes going out at defenders. He can't really do that playing as a striker. And granted, when he's playing against a team like Barcelona, Jack, who play a high line in the ball over the top, that's beautiful for
Yes.
Marcus Rashford, but not in this sort of environment here, Jack. The big thing for me is also getting the best out of these players, Jack. Mason Mount, granted, first thing I got to say, it's 2 games. It's two games, and football
Right.
can change very, very quickly. I don't want to jump on it yet, but the way Manchester United lost in the first 2 games, Manchester United fans, they point stuff out very quickly. It's almost like it's meltdown. And if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna help you do it. And I'm gonna look at what is going on right now. Jack, in midfield, it feels like they're getting overrun. As great
100%.
as great as Casemiro is, he is getting older, Jack. And the issue with it is that if you play that, Jack, if you play two 2 10s or 2 8s like that. If they do go to press, Jack, and that press is beaten, as you, Jack, like as you mentioned, by players who can dribble past them, what's gonna happen with Casemiro? He's having players run at him, and he's stuck in a whole pool by himself with him coming over there and that runners all around him. It's hard for him to compete. It really is, and I'm guessing he probably looking at Erik ten Hag saying, "I want a body next to me." Even if that is a Scott McTominay or bringing in somebody in like Amrabat, who I think would be an amazing signing, but he needs a body next to him. To me, I don't know how the Mason Mount thing's going to work overall, Jack. Because granted, the work going forward is cool, but does he make Manchester United tick? Does he create enough chances? Does he score enough goals? Because if you're going to do that, you're going to leave Casemiro isolated. And I'm not saying back in the past he could have done it, but he's getting older, Jack. Right. If you're gonna leave him stranded there, I know what Bruno is. I know what Bruno's gonna do. Sometimes he's not quite on it, yeah. But on Mason Mount, he needs to produce something, because if he's not doing it going forward, Jack, he's definitely not doing it at the level going backwards defensively, and that is a big issue. Jack, you mentioned it too. Players like Anthony. Listen, I do like that, because I'm thinking, mate, throw me a bone here, because I think there's a good player there. There is genuinely a good player there, but I just think
there's a good player. There's not a great player. Do you follow me?
No, 100%. I never said great. Exactly. But also, with all this criticism of Anthony, I'm seeing that he's getting bombarded. What happened to this Jadon Sancho talk, huh? Because everyone's so big to talk about Anthony, what Anthony's not doing. But the one thing I'll tell you about Anthony, he'll stick his chest out. Yeah. And granted, he'll make mistakes and like he won't go past, but at least you see him trying to do that. Jadon Sancho is very, very, very passive, and he gets away with absolutely murder at Old Trafford. He's been there for almost 3 years right now, and I don't think he's contributed near as much Anthony's doing in his year, Jack, being there. So all this thing about Anthony, can we please give Jadon Sancho the same type of energy there overall?
I will say, I think Højlund dramatically changes this team. Now, I don't think he's 20 or 30 goals a year. I don't think that we're looking at like Erling Haaland kind of impact. But I think on that kind of dirtier side of football, as an outlet, drawing attention away, allowing the other players to do their jobs properly, I think Rasmus Højlund dramatically changes this team, especially if then Rashford is allowed to do his thing off the left. I think it's crazy. That right wing spot, James, you're absolutely right. Anthony, Sancho, or that kid Pellistri, like I guess we'll see. Alejandro Garnacho has been kind of handed that starting position, and he looks lively for about 15 minutes a game, but apart from that, I don't see the consistency of an out-and-out title contender type football team. The midfield thing's a major issue. I will say, I think the Højlund thing is huge, and I do think that either with a signing or with Scott McTominay coming back in the team, or a slight little jig around here, I do think we'll see a slightly different Manchester United team against Nottingham Forest. That would just be my guess, but I don't know. And are they going to bring back Højlund a week early? Who knows? Or will it be after the international break?
And big thing there, Jack, we haven't mentioned yet, is Erik ten Hag. Because at some point, Jack, this is Manchester United we're talking about here. They've given this guy the keys to the crown. I don't want to hear please. I get it. You're not going to get everything, because people talk about, he didn't get the striker, he didn't get this, he didn't get that. You can't get everything in this life. No. I wanted a Mercedes, I never got it. It's cool. I'm going to move on. You can't get everything in this life. And listen, he's been getting a lot of Manchester United, and he's been given a lot of responsibilities. Is there going to be questions asked of him this season, Jack?
Yeah, I think so. So I think when Højlund comes in, and when Højlund has a run of games, and we don't see any sort of good performances or anything, I think then you have to start going, bro, this is your team and your plan. Because, James, no one is watching that Manchester United team and going, wow, the players have down tools, they're just playing the way they want to play. They're playing the way he's telling them to play. The way that they're walking through midfield, that is because he's telling the midfielders to operate in the way that they're operating. As much as you and I have criticised each of the players individually, all they're doing is what they've been told to do by the manager. So he's got to be accountable for his actions going forward here soon.
In my biggest thing on Manchester United that I struggle with, Jack, you mentioned the turnovers. I feel on the ball, Jack, it's still just a lot of what I've been seeing from years gone by. Saying, okay, whole player's going to do something special. I don't see a proper structure of
Right.
how Manchester United are going to score goals. I knew what they were going to do under Sir Alex Ferguson. You know, even under like Jose Mourinho, Erik ten Hag is known for his offensive play. I still have. Listen, the build-up boys, I can see it, but I'm
Right.
talking about in the final third. Yeah, the sort of patterns of play that I'm looking for, I haven't seen, and that's where Manchester United has struggled so much. When team puts people behind the ball and say, "Break us down,"
Right.
Jack, they struggle to do that heavily, especially when they have to rely on crosses coming into the box to players who are not as comfortable with having crosses coming into the box
Well,
like that. It is a big issue, Jack.
again, I do think a 6'3", 6'4", fast as you like striker is gonna contribute to solving that issue and have somebody to play off and play around and stuff. He is a proper number 9 in that respect. But James, you're absolutely right. Plan A is counter press and score off the chance created that comes off the counter press. Plan B is, well, I don't know. And again, that's up to Erik ten Hag and the coaching staff. They got to figure something out.
For Manchester United, this is going to be a whole episode this year because when Man United fail, the football world go into
Like,
meltdown. Not meltdown, but the football world go up and Manchester United fans go into meltdown. So
yeah,
we're gonna have a field day if they don't if they don't get clicking. But United fans, I want to hear from you. What's going on with the Ten Hag stuff? The striker, Anthony, Sancho, everything we'll mention here, guys. Comment down below. Let us know what you think and also where you guys gonna finish in the Premier League, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Box to Box Football, and we'll see you guys next time.